For decades, the financial controller lived in the back office. They were the number crunchers responsible for enforcing budgets and keeping a tight lid on corporate spending. But that model collapses when a company initiates a massive bet-the-company strategic pivot. Consider a legacy media giant abruptly deciding to spend billions to build a global streaming platform. A CEO's grand vision rarely accounts for the immediate reality of the bills. Ripping up a proven business model to chase a new one creates a period of intense structural instability and high short-term losses. Without a specialized leader to bridge the gap between that visionary strategy and the reality of the balance sheet, a company in transition often runs out of cash before the strategy has a chance to work. The modern financial controller provides the strategic counterweight to the CEO. Their primary function during a transition is to translate abstract corporate ambition into a hard, viable financial architecture. They provide the forward-looking forecasts that determine how a company allocates its capital and where it can afford to expand its market reach. Financial alignment serves as the connective tissue that determines whether a visionary strategy actually takes root in the real world. The first step in alignment is dismantling a massive strategic goal into smaller, measurable components. This hierarchical breakdown prevents departments from acting in isolation. It ensures ground-level operational tasks contribute directly to the CEO's high-level objective, creating a unified movement across the company. To map these connections, controllers use a specific tool called the Balanced Scorecard. This framework links non-financial metrics, like customer retention rates, directly to the company's financial KPIs, such as monthly recurring revenue. By applying the SMART framework, the controller ensures these new targets remain specific, measurable, and realistically achievable within a set time frame. Translating a confusing pivot into this unified financial language is how a controller keeps a massive workforce moving in one direction. In 2013, Adobe launched one of the most significant pivots in tech history, moving from selling expensive one-time boxed software to a monthly subscription model. Abandoning upfront sales for small monthly fees crashed their short-term profitability. Internally, this high-risk period is the valley of death. To manage investor panic, Adobe's controller used rolling forecasts, multi-year models projecting exactly when subscription revenue would begin its exponential upward curve. The financial team also shifted the company's focus to new metrics, like customer lifetime value, proving that the long-term health of the business was actually improving despite the temporary drop in profit. That proactive forecasting bought the company the time and investor trust required to cross the valley of death safely. Even the most perfectly planned strategy is vulnerable to sudden external shocks. When standard operations are paralyzed, rigid historical budgets become useless. Survival depends on dynamic scenario planning that can adapt to rapid changes in the market. We see this in Tesla's attempt to scale vehicle production. They have to balance massive R&D investments against the extreme volatility of raw material prices. Tesla manages this by adhering to a strict, non-negotiable financial anchor, a 25% gross margin goal for every vehicle sold. To protect that margin, the controller manages risks tactically, for example, by securing long-term contracts with lithium suppliers to neutralize sudden price spikes. In a volatile world, hard financial targets act as defensive armor, shielding the company's strategy from external disruption. The future of alignment is moving towards agile strategy. Using AI and real-time cloud dashboards, controllers can now adjust financial goals month by month instead of year by year. There is also a new layer of complexity, aligning financial goals with environmental, social, and governance mandates. Controllers are now tasked with converting ethical objectives, like lowering carbon footprints, into hard, measurable green revenue metrics. By integrating digital speed with ESG mandates, the controller forecasts the long-term societal value created by the business. The traditional role of the back-office bookkeeper has now been replaced by a mandate for strategic partnership. The modern controller's responsibility is to provide the roadmap for the future, mapping out exactly how the company will fund its next great leap. A brilliant corporate strategy is only a concept. The financial controller provides the blueprint that makes that concept a reality.